You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. Hello and welcome back to That Home Loan Hub. Today I'm joined by a lovely guest that has been in one of our 100 episodes ago. So go back and listen to that if you want. But this person has been so kind to me over the last 18 months or more. This person has shown me what a true friendship is like.
Aww.
So today I'd like to welcome Lorraine Peterson.
Wow, thank you so much.
Into the show. Hello, Lorraine.
So special.
Sorry, I said Lorraine.
It's all right, that's my new name.
So Lorraine's nickname is unofficially Lorraine because my 5-year-old daughter absolutely adores Lorraine. She's like, Lorraine's her idol. And she can't say Lorraine, so she calls her Lorraine. And that stuck around. Now, every time we see Lorraine, we just call her Lorraine.
Mm-hmm. That's all right.
Hello, Lorraine.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in. So today you've got a really interesting story to share with our listeners. Last year we had you in to share your story as a first home buyer. Mm-hmm. And this year?
Well, I'll be a second home buyer this year because we sold our property. We decided it's time to move on. Our kids are starting college and, well, my son's already in college. My daughter will be starting soon. Decided that it would be a good move to go to Paraparaumu. So it's closer. They can walk to school. I don't have to worry about pickups because I'm getting to the point where I can't do pickups anymore. They're old enough to do their own, find their own transport. So we decided to sell, but what we were not expecting is to sell before we had secured another property. So we are sitting a little bit in limbo. I have luckily got some connections and have a rental in the meantime. But it's a stressful process, lots of loopholes to try and get through to secure property these days, especially if there's other offers on it. Really hard to get in. You got to be unconditional. It's a process to try and secure second homes when you're trying to sell your first home. I think it's quite a different process.
Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. So you decided to sell your first home that you're living in right now to buy the next house that's in a better area. And the interesting thing as well is that you are doing it in a market that has declined.
Correct.
You bought at a higher end over almost 2 years ago, and now you're buying at a lower end, which is fantastic. The prices are lower, but then it means you're selling your house at a lower price tag as well. And you've done some renovations to the house too.
Yeah, we completely renovated the kitchen, the bathroom. We added on an extra room. So we converted the garage into a living space. Lovely house. Cross lease, maybe that's also a factor. People don't really understand the process or what a cross lease is all about. There's nothing wrong with cross leases. I think they're great properties. It literally just means you're either sharing a driveway or, attached to a house.
And that's the thing, right? Your property, you were a first-home buyer, so it was priced back at the first-home buyer's range.
Yeah.
And the first-home buyers are the ones that usually a bit more wary of the cross-lease properties.
Yes.
And I think that was one of the stumbling blocks for you to be selling your property so fast.
Yeah.
And then you were looking at properties that are slightly bigger and therefore the price is a bit higher. And you're sort of back in that low deposit situation. It's not like you've made enough from your first home to buy the second house. No.
But we were lucky enough to go with a bank that offers the 5% deposits or the lower deposits. So we did get approval, which was great. So it put us in a bracket to be able to buy slightly more expensive, but we're still getting for the second property we're still going in at a better price because of the market being so low. So we're getting a good property at a lower price. So it's a lose on the sale side, but it's a win on the buying side for me.
And that's the thing, right? Like you could have waited until the property prices bounce back and you could have sold your house for 100K more.
Yeah.
But then you would have been buying
400K more, so it would be sitting in the same position almost.
Yeah. And the other advantage, I guess, for you doing it right now is the interest rates are much lower than what they were 18 months ago.
Exactly.
So your repayments, even though the loan is higher, but the repayments might be the same, right?
Yeah, the repayments are honestly not a huge difference to what we're paying now. So maybe 400 more a week, if that much, but for a much bigger property.
Much bigger loan.
Much bigger loan, much bigger property. But 400 a week seems like a lot. 400 a week seems like a lot, but it's in the long run, it's not.
And that's the thing, right? Like the sacrifices, what are you prepared to make? But then you're getting a bigger house, and then it means more bedrooms. It means if you want to get a borderer,
Exactly.
exchange student.
That's what we're going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it brings in some income. Yeah,
opens up opportunities, right?
exactly. Yeah.
You no longer need to sleep in a garage.
There we go. I can move out of the garage.
And let's talk a little bit about your journey as, how to put an offer, because that's a lot of the time people ask us, how to put an offer when you're buying and selling. What sort of conditions were you told to use, for instance?
Well, the one is always finance. Even if you have approval with a bank, finance is really important. I just find real estate agents that like to get you to have no conditions, but there's still a lot of factors, like, for example, our house that we are interested in still needs the certificate of completion because it was completely renovated. So we're waiting for that. So that is still a condition that you need, even though you would be deemed as a clean offer because you've got approval and you've got all that in place. You still need one or two things. So it's important to look out for finance will be your biggest one, always important. And then builders reports and things like that, lim reports, unless it's already provided. But it's always good to do your own due diligence and get your own builders. The banks don't normally request it unless they are specifically asked for it, but yes.
And I know you were quite gutted with this house that you bought last year, that the first rain storm, you discovered a massive puddle in your backyard.
Yeah, front yard actually, ponding. I don't have a backyard now. Yeah.
And you had to invest a lot into the drainage.
Yeah, we did a lot of hard work there with getting drainage. So now if there's a lot of rain, it's just purely a little puddle now compared to almost a whole pond.
Exactly.
So yeah, we leveled the ground and put draining chips and all that in.
I'm sure you had some ducks at some point just hanging out in your
Probably
backyard,
Send my dog to chase them.
swimming in a pond. It's definitely a stressful experience when you're trying to sell your home and buy next one. I remember we had to go through that as well when we were moving from Palmerston North to Paraparaumu 10 years ago. And we were in the same boat. We had to sell our home in order to secure one here.
Yeah.
And, of course, there are products available like bridge loans that everybody loves, open bridge and closed bridge. And, there could be a solution for some, but in a lot of cases, the bank may not like it because if you don't have enough equity, they don't like bridge situations.
Correct, yeah.
At all. So, it just leaves you with no choice. One of the other conditions I usually recommend to my clients is, as you say, find a house first before you sell yours. So you could actually protect yourself by putting a condition for you to find something.
Yeah.
So even if the buyer goes unconditional on yours, you as a seller still have the final say.
Yes.
And that enables you to achieve two things. It's you have a chicken and an egg because you suddenly have the unconditional offer on yours, meaning that's it, these people are going to buy, but then you can go and find something for you.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
a good tip, yeah.
Yeah. Should have come to see me,
Damn.
But that prevents you from suddenly selling your home and going, oh my goodness, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go move to? Because I haven't found a house yet that I want to move into.
Yeah.
The other thing I also suggest to clients is always negotiate with the with this buyer, whether they will let you rent the house back from them.
Yeah.
It saves you moving twice. Because sometimes people go, well, I'll have to go and rent out somewhere and then buy again. You might as well stay in your own home. Like if they're not a first home buyer and if they're buying it as an investment property, it might just tie them over until they decide what they want to do with that property. Whether they want to tidy up, whether, put back on the market, etc. But meanwhile, you could rent it back from them.
That's a very good tip. We are in a position, luckily, that we have a little rental for the next month if we don't get into the other property in time. But the other property is also empty, so it's to our advantage. for us, in this case, we can move in before we settle.
Yeah. And that's another one as well, right?
yes.
You could move into the new one you're buying and rent it out until you're ready to
settle. Yeah. So there's always options and there's always solutions to every problem.
to every problem.
The problem that we had is that we had a property we were interested in, put in an offer, try to sell ours, and then we got cashed out. And then we got stuck with. Then we got an offer on our house that we couldn't say no to, but we didn't have another house that we had secured yet. So that was our problem.
Yeah.
And that's where we are at now.
But I always think that everything happens for a reason. There's blessings in disguise, right? At that point, it doesn't feel like a blessing. But then in a year time, you look back and be like, thank God I didn't buy that house.
Yes.
And thank God we bought this house.
Exactly. There's a reason why these things are happening, and it's you just grow from them, and then it just makes me learn more every time I go through the process. And I'm like, okay, no, I've just learned something today that I didn't know before. So it's good.
I'm a firm believer that, things do happen for a reason, and what's meant to be yours will be yours.
Exactly.
And, some properties actually do come back to clients. Like, they might have missed out the first time.
Yeah.
And then somehow, by some crazy miracle, the property is still available 2 months later.
Exactly.
And they get a chance to apply for it again.
Yeah. So this property we looked at a while back, but I thought it was not really in my league. And then we hadn't sold yet either, and I didn't want to get cashed out again. So we just waited, and then it just happened that it was still there, and I decided to give it a go.
Wow, that's awesome. Lorraine, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Is there anything else you want to add as a tip for people that might be in a similar position to you?
Just don't give up. There is a property out there for you. There's always a way to get around it. You will not be on the street. There is, like you said, to put stuff in your contract that will protect you, so you can maybe still stay in your rental until into your home until you find your new home, things like that. So there's always a solution. So don't give up. It will work out.
It will work out. And I know you're looking at me because you're like, Zibonisa, you have a big yard. If anything will come and tent out at your house.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll be doing that.
No, that's awesome. Lorraine, thank you so much. And I think just a message again back to those that are looking to buy their first home. Your first home is not your forever home.
No.
Lorraine, you had to do what you had to do to get onto the ladder.
Yes.
Do you regret it?
Not at all. I think if I hadn't done it then, no, I think it would have been more difficult for me to get onto the property ladder now. I just felt it was the right time.
Imagine like out. The last 2 years you've been paying your own mortgage, right?
Yeah.
Instead of dead money of rent.
Exactly.
To someone else.
Yeah.
And what you would have noticed as well is that expenses always happen, right? You need a new car, the dog needs a vet bill, etc., etc. So people that have savings, often savings tend to dilute themselves.
Yes.
Because you always have to pay bills.
That's exactly it. And I think if we had waited, our deposit would have just got it depleted.
Shrunk.
Yeah. And then we would be in a position where we have nothing. At least I had a home that we could sell. So even though our deposit wasn't big, it was still something and we can go forward. Yeah.
You recouped some money back. Exactly. Yeah. Now, awesome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and we hope to catch you again. Thank you, Lorraine.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye. And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.